From surviving battles within to sparking change across borders, Debbie Williams-Campbell reminds us that resilience isn't just personal, it's global. This is Adventures of a Wallflower. My guest today is someone I've known since university, Debbie Williams-Campbell. She's been through a lot, learned even more, and turned those lessons into something bigger than herself. I won't spoil the details, but let's just say her story blends resilience with real-world impact in ways that'll surprise you. So, Debbie, now, in your own words, tell us who Debbie is and give a
Right.
brief background of yourself before we dive deeper.
I'm a dreamer, right? A fighter, a survivor, an adventurer, a creator of beauty, a lifelong learner, a healer, but mental healer, I can see,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I learned from my traumatic experiences that, but I learned from my traumatic experiences, right? They have caused pain, of course, yet I've also grown because of them. I decided not to let it overcome me, which definitely wasn't and still isn't an easy journey. The thing is, what really kept me going is because I believe I have a purpose. And so did a few persons that God sent me in my life to remind me of that while I was struggling with depression, anger, confusion, hopelessness. And a lot of people didn't believe I was struggling that much, but I was. Like I was fighting against a lot of demons. Like it was so tough, right? But thank God, thus far in my life, there has been growth, there has been progress, and I've gotten to be a beacon of hope, right? I can see it's because of different experiences that God has, allowed me to experience, and the people that God has brought into my life that really made a difference and really inspired me to keep going. They weren't much. Sometimes it wasn't that somebody came and inspired me. It was just that I learned from other people, right? I love learning from people, so I would observe people a lot and learn from them. Now with those lessons learned from even the trauma, I can say I use them to help me inspire others. I try to learn from them. I try to learn from every experiences, right? So that, because I'm like, why am I going through this? Why? How can I learn from this? I think that is to help. It was to help me cope because I didn't want it to overcome me and sit in a dark place forever and pity myself because I know that would have helped me progress and enjoy life and to move forward. I love to write. Writing helped me cope during difficult times, and that skill, it became developed because of that. Sadly, I haven't written in a while. When I was in primary school, high school, university, oh my gosh, I used to write so much. Even when I got married, I would get up like around 1, 2, 3. That's the time when my creativity just went on, like it was on steroids. I'm like, calm, just calm down. There's so much going on in my mind right now. But I love being creative, love the arts, love how it can open eyes, soothe minds. How I can like disrupt the status quo. I just love being different. So much so when I see people like dress similar to me, I feel to stop dressing like it, right? I hate trends. I just like to wear what I like to wear. I don't like following people unless it's necessary for a good cause. But yeah, I usually like to just be different. I'm a kind of sort of a rebel, and my mom and my brother would testify to that. I gave my mom a lot of pressure because of that, like being so different. Yeah, but to me, it was a good way, right? I found it was like a good thing. Yeah. It wasn't that I was going astray and causing people pain, etc. It's just becoming more and more of me, right?
All right, understood. One thing we should say that you are a bit of a rambler in a good way, so no problem. So to my guess, we'll definitely be having a part one and a part two because I've known Debbie since university and she has always had a lot to say and it's also interesting. And based on the years that have passed, she has grown a lot. So that is a very brief, well, not normally brief, but brief according to her background of herself. And it's nice that you mentioned that God would have gotten you through your trouble and along with family and friends because I think I would have mentioned several times as well, I would have went through depression, especially in
Right.
2019 with my back injury. A lot of things that was like basically buried came up because I was at a period where I couldn't move. So, when you're
Hmm.
always busy, you basically can't pay attention to certain things, but when you don't have no choice but to confront these things, you have to really
That's
sit
nice.
and reflect.
Yeah.
Uh, And you mentioned about writing, and you know that I'm a writer and I released a book. So I definitely hope to see some of your writing soon, as do
Wow.
my audience.
Probably we could like co-write.
Yes. Many things that will happen, I'm sure of it. And what kind of writing would you have done?
Just about life, my experiences, what I've learned in life, more like life lessons.
Okay, so ooh,
Philosophical. Yeah, don't,
philosophical,
it
yeah.
happens to me too. Don't worry. It happens to me.
You know,
Like,
you haven't said that word in a long time and then it just trips you
yeah.
up. It's just, yeah, right.
I don't
So,
know if I said this, but I also love problem solving, right? I love opportunities that allow me to help like mitigate social issues. I love like puzzles. I even have like math dates. I don't know if you love maths since you did computing as well. If you
not really love math. I mean, I can't say that. Now, I didn't really love maths. I managed to get ahead
can,
just enough, but not, I'm more the creative side that I'm realizing it in. And I'm realizing I like to well listen to others and give advice as well,
oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I love creating puzzles. So hopefully we can write something, discussing different life lessons, experience, and probably have a puzzle here and there.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was so nice. So now I know through all of this that you would have went through, you eventually led to you being a part of an NGO, which is something I myself have been thinking long and hard. I want to do something like that to give back to the community or just to support people in a way, right?
that's nice.
So, so before, well, you can actually talk about this. We was gonna say what shaped you during the time in the University of the Southern Caribbean.
Oh, well, okay, meeting different persons shaped me. I grew up very sheltered and alone, so I was keen on learning from others. To see what like I missed out on.
Right.
So I observe people a lot. I stare down people a lot, because I'm just observing everything I can about them and how they behave and interact in different situations.
Mhm.
So learning and using discernment as best as I can, as well as when I was exposed to the internet. Oh my gosh, that was one of the best experiences ever. I was like, what is it, like an oyster in a, gosh, what's it saying?
Michelle? Oh, is that particular movie you're talking about?
Gosh, I can't remember, but it's like a kid in Candyland. I was like all over the place. So much to research and so much to learn. It's like, oh my God, I love this. I love this. I love this. And I remember someone asking me, why is that you didn't go to a library? I'm like, because I just wasn't accustomed seeing people go to a library, so I didn't think it was important.
Hmm.
For some weird reason, I just never considered going to a library. But
Yeah.
when I was exposed to the internet, wow, I researched so much things. So that really have shaped me as well.
Based on that, we can say that you read a lot. I still have struggles reading, even though I'm a writer. I'd have binges like for 2 weeks. I'll read several books and then I'll be like sick of book after sick of seeing any book afterwards.
Oh,
I get, yeah. Well, that's very good. And then that leads into my next question now. So while
Just now, before you go, I want to say I don't like reading. I just like learning, but I don't like to read.
just like the information that you get from reading rather than the reading itself. Okay,
Yeah.
understood, understood. So that will lead me into while many were focused on grades and deadline, you were already multitasking as a student as well and as a lab tech in the later years of university. What did that time teach you about service or systems or maybe even yourself?
Wow. A really good question. Wow. It bring back some
Memories.
good memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Making me miss university, man. Yeah. So it taught me that I was ambitious, right? That I didn't give up easy. I'm a survivor. I worked a bit for experience and money to help out my mom, even though she didn't ask for it, right? Even though she was a single parent, she didn't, like force me to work or was really hard on me to help her financially. Financially, yeah. But I still wanted to, just for the experience. And I know because I know that, yeah, my mom still needs help, so why not?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't like the job, but I did it just to help with my career development. I wanted to use it as like a stepping stone and to help me, financially. Now, while working, I was still looking for school books online.
Mm-hmm.
One time, I took 5 hours to search for an IT book, and Sumo Beta was shocked that I was able to source it because no one else, including him, could have had it, right? I tried hacking all sorts of things until I eventually, got the book, right? So even if I had the money, I was working then, I would still do something like that. So during that time, it made me realize that I am resourceful. So I could be working, even up to now, I could be working and still would try and find ways I could save money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Working there also reminded me of my ability to figure things out on the spot. So I try to basically get like B from the equation A plus B equals C at times, or just get C without even getting B, you know. I guess, yeah, that's it. It made me realize that I was resourceful, ambitious, and give up easy and tried, and I could have done things on the spot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was good
That's very
at
good.
problem solving.
That's very good. So I guess also this is a time when now you would have realized that you're like what I'm doing with tech could evolve into something far more human centered as well.
Huh. All right. The thing is, I don't know if this may shock you. I don't know if I told you. But while in my second year, I was like, nope, this is not for me. But I will continue pursuing this degree because I've already started.
Yeah.
Now, my goal is just to pass the IT courses as best as I can. Sadly enough, I did better my general eds and my business courses, which I didn't study much for. I was so focused on studying for computing,
Mm.
right? That I hardly got time to study for my associate in general business and the general ed courses.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was funny. I'm like, I'm studying so hard for this thing and I'm getting like C's and B's and I had the A's. But like with the other things, I'm doing better. So what is happening? But yeah, I realized it wasn't for me. I just continued to do it because I think technology would always be needed and it might come in handy, even in the workplace.
Yeah.
But yeah.
At that time we had too much general ed though. So
Oh my God, it was a lot. I am grateful though. I am
mm,
because it just gave me a nice introduction to different courses to see if in the future I may want to explore them more. So that's what I appreciated.
right, okay. So now back to dive into the NGO that you work for. iCare Sustainably Internationals. For those hearing about it for the first time, what is it and what sets it apart in the sea of NGOs?
Wow, what a question. Okay, so iCare Sustainably International. iCare means I can revolutionize the environment, sustainably. That's what it means. Now, I came up with iCare. After much brainstorming, I decided, okay, iCare seems like it. Now, it's an international NGO founded in 2018 by a global group. We are culturally diverse group from like Kenya, of course, Trinidad and Tobago, Netherlands, India, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Colombia, and so many volunteers from different parts of the world. Our headquarters is in Eldoret, Kenya. I did try to register here in Trinidad and Tobago, but got some challenges. However, it was easier for our president to register in Kenya. Now, it's focused on sustainability and human dignity. Why it's so important? Because we see what climate change is, how it's affecting our society, our world, and we can see too how different cultures, different countries, what human beings go experiencing around the world, right? In terms of inequity and mental health issues, inequality, and all these different issues that human beings experience around the world. So that's why we wanted to focus on human dignity. We believe if we focus on that, then we can make such a great difference in how different persons view themselves, appreciate themselves, and respect other people. Because I believe only with unity, when we respect other people, once we love ourselves and focus on our personal development, then we can truly blossom and contribute to society. Now, our mission, it exists to empower marginalized communities by fostering sustainable environmental and socially equitable development. Our vision is for sustainable livelihoods, stronger communities, empowered people. What we do is utilize youths because they are the future and they are actually more easy to influence than adults. I say when a tree grows old, it's hard to bend, so it's easier to work with the youths. And they have so much to contribute. They have a lot of ideas and thoughts about different issues around the world. So it's important to make them feel included since they would want to have a better future. So why not include them in ensuring they have a better future? Right? So we've had, what makes us unique, right? It's that we are youth-centered. We focus on really making youth feel important, on mentoring them, guiding them, and giving them a voice, freedom to use their voice, that space to use their voice. We focus on SDG-based education, right? Sustainable development goals. We want to create a social enterprise that focuses on a project that we're currently working on called the Kenyan Plastic Recycling Plants. We want to focus on combining making it into a social enterprise, right? I don't want to talk much about that yet since it's still in
That's fine.
the first phases. We are diverse. As I said, we're from different parts of the world and different cultures, and we've learned to respect different cultures, different persons, despite their differences. We've learned to work together. It wasn't always easy, but we've reached far because we've respected each other's contribution and learned to collaborate smoothly. Yeah, I guess I have answered the question, right?
Yes, you've answered the question, and
You need to
that's
know the
fine.
activities that we have achieved.
Right. So you can give us just a brief things that you've accomplished thus far.
Okay, so we've had the S2E4 school.
Sorry.
It encourages students to launch their own sustainability project, and we've had tree planting and SG awareness. We had a SG awareness session at Light and Life School, primary school in Tobago. We've done it in Kenya as well. We help with skill building and innovation support, including incubating eco startups, digital literacy tools for communities, and mentorship for undeserved future innovators. We've helped with setting up livelihood projects through the ambassadorship program, where we are like the middleman. So we get mentors to work with mentees to help with their sustainable projects within their community, right? We just provide guidance, capacity building, yeah, basically it. And then we've created a global digital academy to make high performance tech learning accessible to grassroots NGOs and marginalized youth. So yeah, that's basically about it. And we also had different writers from around the world during the pandemic to talk about how the pandemic affected different communities and different industries. We've also currently had a writer. He's an agri consultant, Mr. Riyad Mohammed.
Mm-hmm.
He did a few articles for us focused on sustainability and agriculture. I was just the editor. So yeah, that's about it thus far.
That's very impressive stuff. And it's exactly one of the reasons why I initiated my second season with my podcast, Adventures of the Wallflower, to interview persons like yourself that making a change. It's one thing to read some of this on a piece of paper, but when you
Okay.
talk about it, it brings life to what you're doing.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
actually, I feel inspired and even more motivated to push towards my pursuit of actually helping others.
That's wonderful to hear. That's inspiring as well to me.
Yes, and at least my audiences, my listeners, my fans could hear and they could be inspired and go towards that goal as well.
Yeah.
But now we know that you're in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And
Yeah.
it isn't the first place people may think of when they hear sustainable development. What has working locally taught you about impact and possibility?
The thing is, sadly, I have not been able to launch or implement any projects in Trinidad and Tobago due to lack of support. The thing is, you're quicker, well, from my experience, quicker get volunteers from Africa and Asia. I have gotten a lot of rejection here, and I've tried, to work with different persons from different walks of life,
Mm-hmm.
with different careers, etc. But either they would say, okay, yes, we would help, or yes, we can work with that, etc. And they just string me along. Or some might just say no because they're so busy with their different, like with their personal life and with their career, etc., which is understandable. But it's still sad to know that it's so difficult, right? I don't know what may be the problem if I'm not doing enough or what. I'm still trying to figure that out. I have currently met someone called Isa. His organization is TT Fix It, and he has been a really good source of help
Mm-hmm.
in terms of me trying to find people to work or to partner with, right? He has been really helpful. And even currently, like we are working on finding persons that I could partner with to be able to implement projects in Trinidad and Tobago, but it's a bit difficult.
I believe it might be awareness as well. Generally, people just are reluctant to especially if they apparently haven't heard much about you.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking so probably I need to do more promotions. I don't know, but I mean, I would send them my website. I'll do even a proposal if necessary. The thing is too, what happened, a lot of persons, they want to be paid a stipend at least.
Right.
But sadly, we can't afford, we're not a social enterprise, so we cannot afford to do so. And I guess because of the challenges with this economy, people really looking for that extra cash. Yeah. So their time is more focused on being able to take care of themselves and their family. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I don't know. Can't really talk much about it. But
Yeah, I get it. It's still a challenge. So the best you could do is continue with what you're doing. And hopefully, in the years, more awareness and more willingness will be returned.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hopeful. I just need to find better ways of reaching out to persons, I believe. Just trying to work on myself and work on my skill development.
And as So as I said, this is also a platform as well, and no matter how small it is, you just need one listener, one caring person, and they will pass your message along.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I pretty much think what you've summed up as well is could be extrapolated to say in the Caribbean region on a whole that there might be some pushback. Some other Caribbean countries might be a bit better receiving of said volunteering work.
Okay.
Just saying that basically what you've answered led to my next question. So you basically, I believe you answered that as well.
Yeah.
And next question, is there a story like one child, one family, one breakthrough
Oh my gosh.
that reminds you why this work matters even on the hardest days?
Definitely. There are many stories. While we are doing the S2E4 school program, a lot of the children that we reach out to, that we show support to, they were really happy because it was something unique for them, something they never experienced. And they felt supported, they felt heard, they felt appreciated because they got to talk about their own ideas, what they may want for a sustainable project. They got to be part of tree planting. It made them feel like they were contributing to protecting the environment. Other stories are from the ambassadorship program and as well as the mini project program, where people were allowed to see their project come to fruition, right? See their project come alive because we were able to provide with them the right guidance, resources, and mentor, right? So being able to, see people like give their reviews that they're so happy and they so appreciate us and they even referred us to other people, and to see other people email us saying they would love to be part of a project. And that's more from like African Asia. They would email us their resume. I would like to work for you all. Places where doctors would say they would like to work for us. Or some organizations may email us that they want to partner with us. So
Mhm.
it feels like, oh my gosh, we're truly making a great impact, and we're seeing progress, because in the first stages of establishing our NGO, it was really difficult. It was really challenging. It was discouraging. At times we felt to give up because of the rejection we got and lack of funding. So sometimes you have to use, personal funding. It wasn't an easy road. So seeing so much success happen, it's so rewarding. You would eventually reap what you've sown. It may not be when you expect it, but eventually you would.
I could quite see that you're passionate about this work, and so far what I've heard and witnessed is that you're doing really good work and you're a very great person. So I don't have to run an NGO to make an impact, right?
Definitely.
Right. But from your understanding and your experience, what's one thing anyone listening could do today to be more sustainable and socially conscious?
First, I would say figure out who you are, why you do what you do, and you see, when we're really conscious of our actions, understand why we do them, then hopefully we would find. I think once you're aware of your actions, it's allow you to say, okay, what should we do better, what we shouldn't do, right? When we see how our actions can impact others and even ourselves and our growth and our future and our children's future. I think once we think like that, it can really help us to make better decisions and therefore better, like sustainable decisions, right? Because at the end of the day, we need the environment don't need us. So once we realize, okay, us just littering could eventually add to a lot of pollution. It can cause plastic to end up in the sea, which can affect the sea creatures and the ecosystem, which we so need because we get a lot of oxygen from the ocean and we need we need the coral reef, etc. I won't go into that, but yeah, once we realize how our actions can actually hurt or not, hopefully it can encourage us to do better. But sometimes I don't think we truly understand how our actions make a difference, even in little ones. So understanding ourselves and why we do what we do is so important.
Right.
And understanding, yeah, and understand how how our actions, sorry, can impact not only us, but future generations.
Because at the end of the day, every action or reaction.
Yeah.
This is my ADHD right now. I had a thought that was so clear and it just disappeared from me.
My gosh, it happens to me too. I understand you because I'll be talking to somebody and have an idea and I'm like, oh my gosh, after I forgot it. So I don't like I spoke too much and probably it caused you to forget.
No, that's not you. That's fine. But I'm sure it'll come back to me and we'll save that most likely for part 2. So thank you. We've only touched the surface of Debbie's journey. Part 2 will open wider doors and deeper truths. Until then, this is Adventures of a Wallflower, and the story continues. But before we go, a poem. Still untitled and still unfinished. Here goes. A new month to spring into action. It's autumn call for songs of September. A micro dot that speaks a lot. That's your poem for this week. Part 2 with Debbie Williams-Campbell is on the horizon. Trust me, you'll want to hear where this story goes next. But until next week Sunday, make sure you get your copy of The Silent Love if you haven't already. See you then, or rather, hear you then.